Okay, what we have here is one of our favorite cases at Juvida. You can see prior to treatment, he had these two areas which were the biggest concern, which is just traditional male pattern baldness on the corners of his hairline. But you can see the main problem that we saw was that he had active hair loss. The main thing at Juvida is whenever you are thinking of a transplant, please don't assume that a transplant will fix the problem of ongoing hair loss, ongoing male pattern baldness. That will continue to happen in some cases into your 50s, but more often than not, it'll plateau in your 40s. Now, the treatment plan here was, yes, of course, we can do a transplant and regain this area here, which we have done, as you can see in the bottom picture. But the first thing was to stabilize ongoing hair loss and to bring back as much of the transplant as possible. So he had been quoted for 5,500 grafts in a clinic elsewhere. We said that was ridiculous. He only needs a transplant in the corners, and we should be able to prevent the rest of this with PRP and with dense topical spray. So he used dense topical spray and PRP. It took 3 to 4 months, but all of this grew back. We could then supplement it with a transplant, which was only around 16 to 1700 grafts, and he had all of his hair back. So he didn't need 5,500. It was only 1700 grafts. We prevented hair loss and thickened his existing hair with a mixture of PRP and dense. And most importantly, we know the PRP and dense work, which means he's not going to get ongoing hair loss after his transplant as long as he maintains that treatment. So the main take-home message is, yes, you may have concerns about your hairline, but your first protocol should always be, how do I keep hold of my existing hair such that if I was to have a transplant, I wouldn't get existing or further onset of hair loss after it, which would look horrendous if you had a hair transplant and then had further hair loss after it. We don't want you to have 2 hair transplants. We don't want you to have one in the first instance. But if you do need one, please prevent further hair loss. PRP and dense are the most cost-effective and most clinically proven ways to be able to do that. So I'm hoping to share more of these case studies with you to hopefully educate you more on transplants. Please reply to this video, write in the comments if you want any more questions answered, and we'll look to do our best to answer them with real life case studies. Thanks very much for listening.